Welcome to In the Name of the Cosmos. My name is Siri Prakash. I'm a Vedic astrologer, and in today's video we're going to examine the full moon cycle occurring on December 7th in the earthy sign of Taurus. Now this moon that we're being blessed with is quite empowered and quite magnetic and very strong in manifestation. As it comes into the sign of Taurus, it enters into this place where it feels its most comfort, where it can extract the most from. It's the place it likes to dwell the longest. Here it gets to extract as much of the gifts and take the nourishment that it desires and that it's looking for, feeling this connection with something that is deep. Mars currently retrograde in the sign of Taurus. The full moon at its peak, they're both at near exact degrees. When Mars and the moon come together, they form what's known as a Chandra Mangal yoga. Now this is very significant in the birth chart, but it also has some indications for us all as it's formed in the sky. On December 8th, Mars will make its closest path to the Earth. And when we look up to the sky at the full moon, it will have this halo of light around Mars because Mars is being bathed not only in the light of the sun, but it's also bathed in the light of the moon. Mars, when we look at what his meaning is, rather than just what we've heard, we think about what are his origins and where he came from. Mars was born from the sweat of Shiva during a very deep practice of austerities, and he gifted this red-faced son to the goddess of the earth for her to raise him, and she empowered him with all of her gifts and her fiercest earthly manifestations. So we can understand that Mars has a deep connection with rooted security. We understand that Mars is disciplined and that it's looking for getting through a barrier of perception. And with the moon, when it comes into contact with any planet, it takes on the characteristics and is deeply affected by it. And with Mars and the moon, the Mars is informing the moon of direction, of courage, and of precision. It's informing the moon through this Chandra Mangal yoga of how to get through perhaps tricky financial situations that some of us may be faced with. It helps to find the way to maneuver within it. Mars will work to inform the moon and protect the moon by reinstating boundaries that maybe have been crossed or that need to be reinstated so that we can feel secure in our path. You know, sometimes when we have set boundaries with people, we have to remind them 1 or 2 times because they're not used to a new behavior. But Mars, through this full moon cycle, will really push the moon to make that statement very clear. Now, Rohini Nakshatra is a beautiful nakshatra. It's often referred to as the nourisher. But the nourisher is just one aspect, and both the Mars and moon are in this nakshatra. So we know Mars is the hunter, but Rohini Nakshatra is the captivator. So they both have the same agenda, but they have a different way of going about it. Mars likes to take action and just get right to it with precision, with skill, with clarity. He's fire. Fire is light, right? It's vision, what we can see, right? And it's being illuminated by the sun. You know, the king is also giving light to direction, to a self-authority. You know, and Rohini Nakshatra, it likes to captivate by having a flourishing garden, by having something that is deeply nourishing from within that can be shared, a resource that can be shared. So with the Mars and the moon working together are deeply helping us to find the courage to overcome, to really create that garden within, to realize the self. Mars is the great yogi, right? And the moon, nothing happens without the moon. The moon is the one that seals the deal. It's the one that signs the contract. It's the one that sets the pace. Even though it waxes and wanes and we can have a lot of rituals around it, we must have deep respect for what the moon is actually doing. It's the queen of the sky, the great luminary, together with Mars, is signing a contract within, saying, this is where you need to work on, setting the boundary, getting clarity, getting your borders straight, getting your finances straight, and enjoy that nourishment that comes from doing that work. Now Mars, he is giving an interesting aspect to Venus. And we can see that, you know, as I mentioned, Venus is in the Sagittarius, the fire sign. So there's a lot of vision and clarity. Whenever we think of fire, we should always think of vision. Saturn's also quite empowered right now, giving structure, giving character of what you're meant to deliver. This is a great lunar cycle for us all to have before the winter solstice on the 21st. It brings in clarity, it brings in courage, it brings in where you should plant your seed, where you can extract the nourishment and relax in that space of knowing and of developing. Everything comes from the seed, right? So the moon is being deposited with the seed by Mars, with very much clarity of what to achieve, what to do, where to go. Many people feel lost right now, but it's just a matter of sitting still. Even in this powerful austerity of Shiva, it's this ability also to be still. And that doesn't mean sitting on the couch relaxing. Still. Strategic, direct, and always with higher consciousness. Now, I invite you to take a look at the moon and Mars in the sky and look at them and make your prayer to them and ask for grace and ask for peace of heart. Thank them for the clarity and for the courage. You know, they're witnesses to your multiple lifetimes. And you have the chance, with them being so brightly illuminated, to witness them and commune. This is the best way that we can learn about the planets, is that we go to the original texts and we think about it and not just parrot what other people say, but really think about it and know, what does Mars mean in my chart? What does the moon mean in my chart? And how does that get layered with what its characteristics and its nature is? And then have a divine relationship with this aspect of nature and of God. I wish you a beautiful full moon cycle. May you be blessed. May you have courage. May you have vision that can show you the path forward. And may you be kind to yourself and equally kind to others. Take care.